What's going on, winners? It's your boy Loso 2.0. And today we're talking about how do leaders give tools and support to the ones that they're leading. Now, before we get started with this, obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, click that subscribe button below and subscribe to the Winners Win channel. If you're listening to this on any type of podcast platform, leave a 5-star review and comment below. So, a great leader has to give tools and support to their team. And I guess a great example of this would be me at my job. So, me in the role of leadership being a district manager. So, if you don't know the role of district manager is constantly coaching teams, constantly calling. I would say when I'm in a store visit, I'm reviewing promotions. I'm making sure the store is clean, the presentation looks good. I'm making sure that the store is up to AT&T standards. I'm also making sure the team has best practices when it comes to selling. At the same time, I have 8 other stores calling me, asking me for help. I'm always there for help. I'm always calling the other stores, checking on them. I'm making sure the stores are getting outside the 4 walls. If they need me to help with customers, help with customers. If they don't sell anything while I'm there, I'm making sure that they're actually doing something productive. I am there to be a leader and give tools and support in order to grow or spearhead the growth of a business. And that's what it means to be a district manager. That's what it means to be a leader. And that's what I mean when you have to give tools and support. It's a word that I use with my leaders. It's called omnipotent. Now, omni means to be, it is the same thing as like God, right? God is all knowing, all everything. He's all knowing. He knows when you're doing something, what you're doing something. And omnipotent means to just be in multiple places at once, to always knowing everything at once. Now, it's a little bit easier at the store manager role. At the store manager role, you're able to be in the store. You're able to see what they're doing. Even if you're working with a customer, you're listening in. And even if you're listening in and you're not seeing, you're going to the stores. You're going to them and stop them in and see what's going on. You should always know what's going on in all your locations. Omnipotent at the district manager level is the key with me calling the stores, making sure they're doing something. Me always knowing their numbers better, knowing their business better than if they a leader. CEO of the company told me this. He said, if he knows the business better than me, then why does he need me? Or knows my area, knows my business better than me. So being omnipotent is a big thing. So I'm always constantly knowing their numbers. I'm also constantly calling them, seeing what's going on, seeing what types of places they're attacking, how they're attacking them. I'm knowing everything about the business by also not being there 24/7 because there's 10 stores. So omnipotent is a big part of being a leader. And with omnipotence also comes your availability, pretty much always being available. I leave a store 5-6 o'clock a day, every day. And even though I'm off 5-6 o'clock, I'm still constantly answering calls while I'm driving, answering calls, making sure they're good. While I'm, eating dinner, answering calls, FaceTiming, on my off day, FaceTiming, going through stuff. You're constantly making yourself available because you don't want to let your team down. Now, I'm not saying not to have a work-life balance. The store's closed at 8 o'clock. There's nothing really to talk about after 8. But to always be available just in case you got to help close a sale. Maybe just in case you have to do something else. It's always good to basically always be available for at all times, pretty much, right? So always be available, always know what's going on. You should always be available because you don't want to let them down. You want to let them know that you're there to support them. You know that you're available. You're also giving them cool tools to actually, I say cools, you're actually giving them tools to get what they need to get done. So that omnipotence, like I said, comes with being always available. Then I said with the tools too as well, giving them tools to support. That's when it comes into the points that I'm talking about in my other episodes or the other videos that I'm posting on the idea of you're constantly giving them tools on how to constant coaching, constantly putting things in place in order to make it easier for them. There's no question for them to pretty much say, oh, I don't know this, I don't know that. No, you do. I'm putting it in place, making it super easy for you. That's the part of when you're being tools, and that's the part of, also being that pretty much that constant support that I'm always talking about. Now, before we get finished up with the episode 2 as well, if you are looking for a community to recognize yourself as a leader in order to be a contributing member to your community, join my leadership community. We have monthly courses and programs and his ability to network. And it's $10 for the first 10 people. If you are interested, please feel free to text me at 302-220-0886. Now back to the episode. So always being that. Now, why is it so important to be a leader? That's a big thing too as well. Leadership comes with so much baggage, so many bad things, and then there's good things. There's so much that comes with being a leader. So why do you want to do that? Now, the point of being a great leader is so that you can have a bigger impact. You don't have to do the work physically. Now, what do you think is more important? Do you think more important is you going to like I said, what do you think is more important? Do you think you going to a store, one store, and making that store the best store of them all, making sure everything is great, all that stuff? Or do you think you making 5 stores grow and do good? Or take it another step closer, 40 stores. How can you make from 1 to 40 stores better? How can you do that? The only way to do that right, is to actually continue to be this omnipotent thing and to have that impact, because you have to be in multiple places at once. You can't be in 40 places at one time. You can be in 5 places at one time. But the way to do this is to always give these support and tools, like I'm saying, like especially now with our cell phones and other things like that. There's so many ways that we could be in multiple places at once. That's the importance of leadership. That's why you want to do leadership. That's why you want to give the tools. You want to give the support. It's because you want to have that larger impact, the larger scale of the impact that you can have without having to be in these places all at once. Now the question is, how do you do this? 2 ways: constant encouragement and coaching, and brainstorming. So what I mean by this, right, is on the support side, you're encouraging them, but you're also making sure that you're holding them accountable too as well. You cannot constantly be happy for everything they're doing. I'm not happy when my large locations, my bigger volume stores are only getting, $200 a day or $500 a day. Oh, it's an okay day. No. I'm happy when they're doing, not even when they're hitting a goal of $1,000 a day, maybe when they're hitting $2,000 a day, I'm happy. When they're hitting their tier 3 numbers, when they're hitting their top numbers, that's when I'm happy. So I'm constantly giving them encouragement, but I'm also holding them accountable for what I want them to do, what I know that they can do. And the next thing, like I said, is brainstorming. You're going to have it's sales at the end of the day, right? Sales is, there's sales will work with customers, but then there's also selling your employees or selling the ones that you're leading on a dream. They may think, it only works for you because you're just this special person. You're just a super person. Okay, let's figure out what works for you. When it comes to, let's say, getting new activations or new business coming in the door, a lot of people can do a play to convince the people in order to add that extra, service. Some people can't do that. So then, all right, you can't do that. All right, let me teach you and coach you. You can't do it this way. How do you prefer to do it? There's other ways to do it. There's going outside the 4 walls. There's getting events and stuff like that too as well. Your ideas to help them come up with brainstorming ideas in order for them to perform what they need to. Anything that it takes for them to get the job done. Everybody does it differently. You know what I mean? Some people do it a certain way and other people do it other ways. But your job as the leader is to brainstorm those ideas, help them come with a concise plan in order to knock this thing out. That's your job as the leader. So this is how you're going to continue to give the tools and support to your team while being omnipotent, while being always available in order to build that legacy that you want. So how do I do that? It's through these things right here that I'm telling you right now. So again, if you're watching this on any type of if you're watching this on YouTube, the Winners Win channel, please click that subscribe button below. Subscribe to the Winners Win channel for more great content. And if you're listening to this on any type of podcast platform, please leave that 5-star review, comment below, ask questions, or whatever you want to do in order to support the channel. All I have left is keep killing the day. Winners win, losers lose, and you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.